Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Superhero Chronicles. And we're going to continue our trek along to the Spider Man film series as we get to the 2012 reboot, The Amazing Spider Man, directed by Mark Webb, starring Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, Martin Sheen, Sally Field, and a cast of others. Let's just get down to it, dispense the preliminaries, and let's talk about it. I've seen this movie a couple times. I've seen this movie a fair amount of times now to actually say that I still like it. I still think it's very enjoyable. Does it have some problems? Yeah, it does. There are the things that I like and don't like? Of course there is. Not every movie is perfect. But, I'm going to talk about the things that I do like and pretty much ignore the things I don't like because the things I don't like, they're not really worth mentioning. They're just like little like nitpicks, but whatever. So, things that I do like. I like Andrew Garfield as Peter Parker in Spider-Man. He's more complex than Tobey Maguire, and I think Garfield gives a more genuine, more how can I say this, vibrant performance. Meaning like where Tobey Maguire in some scenes can be very wooded and silted. To me, Garfield is more fluid, more natural with his delivery, and I like the relationships he has with Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy. Their relationship is very genuine and borderline on like cute. I'm going to say it. It's a cute. Their scenes together are very cute. And of course there's this relationship he has with Uncle Ben, this time played by Martin Sheen, is very father son like, and they have a fair amount of tender scenes together between Parker and his Uncle Ben. So I like that stuff. Another thing that I like, again, Emma Stone is Gwen Stacy. This is Gwen Stacy. This movie made up for the atrociousness that was Gwen Stacy in Spider-Man 3. This is the real Gwen Stacy. She's a she's a smart intellect. She's Peter's equal in terms of that intellectuacy. Um, their relationship is natural and it grows throughout the course of the film. Not once do I feel like she's superficial or used as anything but eye candy. Because Gwen Stacy is an attractive girl, but she also has a brain, and the movie plays up the part of her having a brain, and it also plays up the romantic love story that grows between the two in a very natural way, in my opinion, and it works good for the film. And to be honest, I think it's probably the better moments of the movies was between Gwen and Peter because their chemistry together is just so damn good. The action sequences in this movie are fun to look at. Mark Webb, very good visual director, knows how to direct action scenes. Doesn't use shaky cam or quick cuts. He lets everything flow naturally within the frame. The special effects are fairly good. I was not a big fan of the lizard when I first saw it. I still don't care for the lizard, but it's grown on me. The whole like just the fact that the lizard has more of a human face and just doesn't gel with me. I've always preferred that more animalistic, long snout from the books and the TV show. But for the context of the movie, I'll let it pass. I also like Sally Field as Aunt May. Different than Rosemary Harris. Sally Field brings a little bit more stern, no nonsense, a little bit of spunkiness to her, which I thought was pretty cool. So yeah, those are the things and I also like the story of Peter Parker, trying to find out the secrets of his father, and we find out as the movie progresses that his father and Kirk Connors were working on this cross species thing where it can enable people to kind of grow back lost limbs and things like that. And that storyline plays throughout the course of the film until it eventually gets to the climax, where where Kirk Connors becomes the monstrous lizard, has this device called the Granali device, and he's going to use it to send this toxin into the air, which will turn all of New York into creatures essentially, until he is thwarted by Spider-Man in the film's climax. And I also mentioned this movie has a lot of good action sequences, and I'll get to those in a sec. I'll get to those right now. Um, I like the scene on the Brooklyn Bridge where the lizard wreaks havoc, destroys the bridge, and these cars are hanging down off the bridge, about to fall. And Spider-Man saves this kid. It's a very cool, intense scene, and it's very well directed, and it just very well acted between the kid and Garfield. And of course, no, the kid's father is played by Thomas C. Howell, and he and the son have a very cool moment where Thomas C. Howell says, "My son, my son, my son," and yeah, I just like the scenes a lot because it's very relatable to people, to people who will who don't know their father or grew up without a father. Because even through even with the mask on, you can see like the sadness that Peter feels when he hears that the father, showing love to his son. Because that's something that Peter never experienced from his biological father. He got it from Uncle Ben, who was the closest thing he ever had to a father. And there's this really tender scene between Ben and Peter, where Peter says, "Uncle Ben, you're a pretty cool dad," and the Uncle Ben gives that satisfying smile. It was like that I am. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying. You appreciate what I'm doing, and I appreciate that between Peter and Ben. And that's awesome stuff. And I also like the scene where Uncle Ben dies. I think I like it. I can't really say which one is better because both themes were done fairly well and really well, and they're done in their own ways. Where in the original trilogy, Peter lied by going to a wrestling event. And this movie is more grounded, more darker. It's more grounded and more darker. And Peter's journey is more is not as what's the word I'm looking for. Peter's journey to eventually becoming Spider-Man. He goes down a more real. I don't know the word. More grittier road, I guess, for lack of a better term. Because he's essentially a kid without a father, and he's lost. You can almost sense he's lost because he doesn't know nothing about his father, and that causes him to fit of rage. Yell at his uncle and leave the house. Of course, Uncle Ben goes to look for him. Peter hears the gunshot, walks up, sees Uncle Ben dying, and it's a very touching scene. Garfield's performance in that is really really good, very heart wrenching, because you can feel the sadness that's coming out of him because he just saw because his surrogate father essentially is dead, and Garfield's emotions play out beautifully. And you know what? And you also get Captain Stacy, played by Dennis Leary, and Stacy is hunting down Spider-Man because Max Vigilante and a menace and stuff like that. So it's in a way, Stacy is almost an amalgamation of J. Jonah Jameson, but take out the whole newspaper thing, where he thinks Spider-Man is a menace and things like that. And of course, eventually he gets turned around when he discovers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man and Peter Parker is also dating Gwen. That's when the two of them join forces at the end of the movie, and Captain Stacy has the unfortunate hero's death as he's sacrificed, and forces Peter to make the pact that he he will not allow Gwen to be caught in the danger of what is going to be Peter's life as Spider-Man. And I thought the scene between them is also fairly, really, really well directed, and also very heart wrenching. So I like the tone of this movie. I like the dark, gritty tone of this movie, but at the same time, you still have Spider-Man being himself. There's this one scene with the carjacker where Spider-Man does his all his quips and trash talking, and that's fun. And throughout the movie, a lot of people say that they didn't see it enough, but I saw a fair amount. I saw a fair amount of it. It's like when Spider-Man's in the school. He says, "Someone's been a bad lizard." I got a little tickler. And then throw in the Stan Lee cameo where he's like a librarian stamping books, and you get the classical music playing in the background. And you see Spider-Man and Lizard just beating the shit out of each other. And and to me, I found that hilarious. That was another cool fight scene that I liked. So yeah, I like the Amazing Spider-Man. I think it's good. I think I think it is a step in the right direction into taking the Spider-Man character to a different plateau away. That it's this is and of course in the Amazing Spider-Man sequel, more of the story is expanded upon because over here we just got bits and pieces of it, but in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, the story gets expanded upon that. But we'll get to that very soon. But right now, as it stands, to me, The Amazing Spider-Man is an 8 out of 10. Really good movie. Enjoyable. Good action. Good performances. Good directions. I say give it a watch. And if you haven't watched it in a long time, rewatch it again. And let's see if your opinion has changed on it. But with all that being said, this has been the Superhero Chronicles. I am AJ Legend. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.